You're listening to Girls with Grafts, a burn community podcast created by Phoenix Society for Burn Survivors, a leading nonprofit dedicated to supporting the burn community. In this podcast, we'll talk with burn survivors, share resources to help with supporting and improving burn recovery, and discuss how to prevent burn injuries. Here are your hosts, burn survivors and Phoenix Society's marketing team, Amber Wilcox and Rachel Kudlak.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 5 of Girls with Grafts. I am Rachel Kudlak. I'm one of your hosts, and we're kicking today off with my lovely co-host, Amber Wilcox.
Hello. I'm so excited that we are kicking off Season 5. I just can't believe that we've made it 5 seasons, and I want to thank everyone that's supported us through this journey because this has been a crazy wild ride. We never thought we'd be 5 seasons in, I don't think, when we started this. So excited to, and it wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. So excited to kick off today's episode with a sponsor, and then we'll get things going.
Yes, so today's podcast is powered by Grafts and Amber. Grafts and Amber is a personal injury law firm with offices in New York and New Jersey. They take pride in fighting to achieve the best results for those who have suffered fractures, surgeries, amputations, severe burns, and other injuries. So we're so thankful for them. They've been around since Season 1, so there's no better way to kick off Season 5 with their sponsorship today.
Absolutely. We're super excited. Today's episode, though, doesn't have any special guests. Well, it does. It's us. Surprise. This episode is dedicated to Girls with Grafts, and kind of we can talk a little bit about how we started the show. We've got some fun topics also sprinkled in, so you can get to know us, not just as burn survivors, but as people. Yeah, kind of just have an open conversation. I know we talk a lot with other guests, but we don't really talk with each other all that much. So
Exactly.
Excited to get things going.
It's been a while since we've done just a solo episode with just us two. So if you're new to the show, maybe this is even your first episode you're listening, it'll be a good one. So you can just kind of learn more about who we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's have you kick off, Rachel. Tell us a little bit about maybe your burn injury, where you live, kind of, and how you're doing today.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I'm Rachel Kudlak. I was burned when I was 3 years old. So it's been, 25 plus years since my burn injury. I was burned in a house fire. I was at my babysitter's house, and one of those like box fans that you plug in to the wall had fallen over and kept running. So it, with the carpet, started a fire. I thankfully was the only one injured in the house fire itself. Had 30%, not 30 degree. Whoa. 30%. Yeah, that would be like very, very deep. No, just second and third degree burns on 30% of my body. So, yeah, it's been obviously a roller coaster of a ride. What's really fun, and Amber will share her story too, is, Amber was burned as an adult and I was burned as a child. So I really appreciate how we kind of have these two different perspectives. Growing up, every summer break was spent at the hospital getting another surgery, because for those listening, I'm sure they know, but burns don't grow. So as I continued to grow, obviously I had to get those surgeries. So I was initially treated at Crozier Medical Center in Pennsylvania. That's where I'm from. I lived in Pennsylvania for most of my life. And then after that, I started going to Shriners in Boston. So I know we have a lot of Shriners love and listeners on here. So shout out to Shriners, especially their Boston location. So thankful for, the surgeons and medical team that I had there. As painful as the surgeries were at times, they always made, me have fun as a kid. They had this huge playroom. I won't ever forget. It was like the one positive of going to get a surgery is that I got to play with all those toys and eat popsicles for breakfast.
You want to do, right?
Yeah.
I think to provide that unique perspective of being burned as a child, because I didn't experience that. And you forget that there are additional nuances as you're growing that you need to deal with. And that's your childhood, right? Your childhood was growing up with burns. So
Yes.
we do have a lot of great episodes too with folks that are either a child burn survivor, in addition to Rachel, or perhaps they're going through that and Rachel can provide them that support as well. So we will definitely link some of those episodes in our show notes.
For sure. For sure. Well, and just one other thing I will throw in there is now I live in beautiful South Carolina. I moved to Charleston. Sometimes I feel like we talk and I'm like, people have no idea actually where we live, Amber.
No. So it is warm where she is a lot of the time.
It's even warmer where you are.
It is very warm where I am. And you're recently married.
Yes, got married about a year and a half ago, I guess. It's wild to think that, I don't know, everyone's like, how's married life? I was like, well, not much has changed because me and my husband, we bought our house before we were married. Like we were living together and I'm like, my last name, that's about all that really actually changed in our lives. And we got to go on a fun trip after, so that's not a bad one.
And you do have a dog.
Yes,
who loves to make appearances on the show.
Yes, he's currently sleeping, but if a mailman or package, because I may or may not have an online shopping problem, as Brett will definitely attest to, you will definitely hear Remy when packages arrive. So he tends to pop up here and there.
I also have an Amazon shopping problem, and my husband is always like, "Where did that package come from?" I'm like, "I don't know. It might have been a late night." I do a lot of 3 a.m. shopping with my son, who's up at all hours, and so packages.
What else are you doing?
Yeah, packages just happen to arrive. Like, think if it needs something. So I completely agree. And Rachel is the marketing director now at the Phoenix Society. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I'll start kind of from the beginning. So I first got connected with Phoenix Society when I was like 4 years old, because since I grew up in Pennsylvania, Alan Breslaw, who is the founder of Phoenix Society, he was running a camp called Camp Susquehanna at the time in Pennsylvania. So it's still running today, but at the time it was literally like 30 minutes from my house. I couldn't have been more lucky to have a camp for children burn survivors so close to home. So my parents made me go the first year I could. At the time, I wasn't allowed to sleep overnight because I was 4 and that's so young. So my parents took me during the day. So that was just so much fun. Kept going to that camp really up until I was like 18, until I started going to college. So thankful for those experiences, but that's kind of how I got to know Phoenix Societies through Alan. And then, I went to college, kind of got a little disconnected from the burn community. It was just, such a rapid changing part of your life, like graduating college, getting a job, like being an actual adult on your own. Yeah. So I wanted to give back and get more involved with the community again. So I actually applied for a Phoenix Fellowship. So we don't have that program anymore, but essentially it was a fancy word for an internship. And then after that, got the opportunity to join the team full time. So thankfully, now we're completely remote, but at the time Phoenix Society still had an office. So thankfully they let me join the team from Pennsylvania. And I've been with them ever since. So I think I've been here like 5.5 years now. So I'm like, I can't believe it. And I've been like, also, I've been a working adult for that long too.
It's hard to believe that as well, right?
Yes, for sure.
And now Rachel runs the marketing team. I did step down from Phoenix Society. And I don't know that we've talked about that on the show.
Yeah.
But Rachel has stepped up and is now rocking it as the marketing lead there at Phoenix Society. So I think that's your title. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It was funny. I was on a call yesterday and someone was like, "Oh, you're the marketing person." I was like, "Yes, that can also be the title."
Yeah. Just marketing person of Phoenix Society. Yes. So Rachel runs a lot of programs, not just Girls with Grafts. You help drive the primary driver of the magazine as well. So if you haven't checked out the Phoenix Society magazine, you definitely should.
Yes, and subscribe to our newsletter. I love putting the newsletter together every month. I promise I won't bombard your inbox with too many emails, but our newsletter is just a really great way to kind of stay up to date. There's a lot of things that a lot of folks probably don't even know we're doing, including the magazine and all of our, online articles and support groups that we're hosting every month. So yeah, I will plug that newsletter for sure. I would love if everyone could subscribe to that if you're not already getting those.
Absolutely. I always read it with my morning coffee, usually find whatever research, is going on, I sign up for. So love hearing from, it comes from Rachel, but it's, Phoenix Society. But
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh, what is she working on next? So
Yes.
Awesome. Well,
now it's your turn.
It's my turn. Yes.
Yes.
So, my story is definitely a little different. As Rachel mentioned, I was burned in 2020. So at the beginning of COVID, my husband and I had, the brilliant idea we are constantly watching baking shows. I don't know if you're a fan, Rachel, but, my husband and I love like all of the baking shows. Our favorite are the baking championships. So now they have summer, spring, and like fall baking championships, or Christmas, but we love to watch all of the holiday baking championships and all of that. So we were watching that and inspired to make something, especially in the pandemic when everyone was stuck inside. I think everyone took on new hobbies.
Yep.
And I wanted to make my husband a pie, but I wanted to put this like salted caramel. And I was like, well, I can make caramel. It's not a big deal. I've seen them do it on the show, right? Put sugar in the thing and whip it. Well, the recipe I was reading at the time had mentioned to put it in a glass container. So I found a jar that I thought would hold it well. Didn't think glass could explode. And when I did, the glass that I was holding, it sizzled for a moment, kind of paused. And I saw something happening, kind of like a reaction in the glass. The glass exploded, and caramel, which was piping hot at the time, went all over both legs and both of my hands because I was holding the dish. I was burned 20% of my body and had second and third degree burns myself. I did need a skin graft on my right leg. So my burns are a little bit different than Rachel's. Mine are hidden. And we talk a little bit about that on the show, but Rachel can somewhat hide her burns, right? But also they are visible at times. I, for the most part, have hidden burns unless I choose to wear shorts in the hot Florida summer. I was treated at Orlando Regional Medical Center, where I had a wonderful team of doctors that helped me with recovery. And then I did actually have 7 surgeries, laser surgeries, which we do talk, or I feel like is a hot topic in the industry at Tampa General Hospital. So my husband and I made 7 trips out to Tampa to get that taken care of. And those were definitely difficult surgeries. I feel like the anesthesia got to me, and eventually I said, you know what, I'm all set with this anesthesia. I want to be done. I think I'm at a place where I feel good. And since then, I've had my son, and I am now a mom living in Ormond Beach, Florida. So if you drive an hour and a half east of Disney World, you'll hit my house. And we live by the beach. It is very hot here in Florida. So I understand being a survivor in the heat. And yeah, my son is turning a year on September 5th. And so we are planning his first birthday party already, which I cannot believe.
Do you have a theme? Do you have a theme picked out?
We do. I don't know. You're going to actually laugh because he loves Miss Rachel. Do you know who Miss Rachel is?
I do. Yes, I do know who you're talking about. Me, right? I'm the theme.
You, yes. We actually are looking for people to come to the party as Miss Rachel. So I think it would only be fitting for you to dress as Miss Rachel, as yourself. And he is obsessed. I've never seen a child like another. Like, we've tried everything. You know, I'm a huge Disney fan, and we've tried every Disney movie. We've tried, anything else other than Miss Rachel. And let me tell you, that child won't. He will not. He doesn't want anyone. He lights up, and you think like at 10 months old, come on, does he really? No, he my husband at one point said, I think he thinks it's you, because like, why is he so obsessed with this, woman on screen? Like there's nothing else brings him more joy. So we are doing a Miss Rachel themed birthday party for him, and a cake smash, the whole 9 yards. But yes, he is just getting to walking and crawling, which is a lot. You forget how active he is. And so he wakes up at sometimes 5:30, 6 in the morning, ready to kind of T-Rex my house.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say, watch Miss Rachel at 5 a.m.
Yes. So Miss Rachel has saved us as parents, because my husband and I are not morning people. I don't know if you're a morning person, Rachel, but I am not a morning person. I like to stay up late and watch TV until all hours of the evening. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad Miss Rachel can help you.
Yes, I will say. And I think like I look back at like my time as, recovery as a burn survivor. And I think like that helped prepare me for pregnancy and all of the trials and tribulations of motherhood as well, because I always look back with my husband and go like, if I could do that, I can do this, right? Like I went through being a burn survivor, and I still am, but I've gone through that tough journey, and it's going into the, anything tough. I know I can do hard things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as an adult now, like I've done that, I can do other hard things.
Yeah. And I do want to talk a little bit too about, your professional experience, but do you mind just sharing a little bit too, like how, and I'm sure like your burn injury with you and Tyler kind of really helped set you up for, the hurdles of parenthood. So can you talk a little bit just about like your experience kind of going through that as a couple?
Yeah. So, it's all over my Instagram. So if you are on too, I have all my stories linked, but my husband was my primary caregiver. We had been married for quite some time and been together now for a while, but when my injury happened. And so I think the unique experience with my husband, he was my caretaker. My husband and I don't have family that's, close by. And so every day, every morning and evening around the pandemic, my husband would do my dressing changes. Unfortunately, the way insurance works now, insurance won't cover home health care and physical therapy. And we did have home health care, but, and I've talked a lot about this, I think a little bit here in the episode, but home health care, unfortunately, where I am, doesn't really understand and support, I feel like, burn survivors, right? I live in a community that's a lot of older folks. And so they're used to kind of treating elderly care, but not as much treating a young burn survivor. And so I got a lot of anxiety when they would come and kind of deal with my burns. They weren't really used to treating burn survivors. And so I could do one or the other. And I said to my husband, I'm not getting anything out of this. It's causing me stress. I'd rather have you do my dressing changes and do physical therapy. And so we made that switch, but it did put a lot of commitment on my husband, who it was during the pandemic. They were, if you remember, furloughing a lot of folks because of a lot of things that were happening. And so my husband's job was also at risk at the time. He wasn't sure if he was going to be furloughed. And so he had a lot of pressure to still show up to work every day. And so my husband would get up with me at 7 a.m, do dressing changes, go to work, spend all day at work, I'm sure exhausted, check in with me, because we had a friend that would come and stay with me to make sure that, when you have burns on your legs, doing things like going to the bathroom can be a challenge. And then he would come home at 5, 6 o'clock at night and spend until about 9 o'clock p.m. doing dressing changes with me until we were, it was time for bed. So I will say, I think that was definitely something that, put us through a lot. Having your husband or your loved one do something that no one should have to do on you, right? Like my burns were not pretty. They weren't glamorous. They're in spots that are very uncomfortable for me. And my husband just stuck it through and did it. And I know a lot of like relationships, right, can be tested during that time. And I think we just learned to communicate really well and built that special bond with one another during that. So it wasn't fun, but my husband made it fun, right? We had a special location. He did a lot of research on his own. And my husband is definitely, I would say, like my biggest cheerleader just in life in general. And so even when I'm like having a rough week, right, my husband will be like, go do a yoga class. And even if I don't want to, my husband knows what I need usually. And so he would push me even when I didn't want to be pushed. My doctors would tell him to push me. And so my husband has definitely always been a big supporter. And I think that aspect of knowing that we could do hard things together, we documented a lot of it on Instagram and got a lot of like outpouring of messages from family and friends that were just very inspired by the fact that we were working together through that and making this fun and taking it one step at a time. There were days where we had really, it was very difficult on our relationship and our marriage, but we got through it. And for parenthood, right? Like we've learned the same thing. Like sometimes one of us needs to tap out, right? Like I'm tired. I can't do this today. I need to kind of step it up. And so it's kind of the same thing. Not really, but we're caregiving for something else other than ourselves this time. But I think being a burn survivor with a husband who I could communicate with, and I know we've seen each other at our worsts. Or at least he's seen me at my worst. We can communicate and understand that whatever we're going through, like we know, kind of bring it back to those moments when we've had really hard times.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, clearly burn survivor, any type of major health issue,
Concern.
No couple ever wants to go through that, but it's definitely makes you stronger at the end if you can get through it. And like I said, I'm sure that, like you said, that communication now with crew and things like that, I'm sure it's definitely helped.
Yes. And he knows, he knows when I'm having a rough day, right? Like he can see, like, I'm not one to always communicate how I'm feeling, but my husband can sense like there's something going on. And he knows what I need, right? So it'll be like, I know you're having a rough day. Like, if you've ever done the like emotional, or whatever the tests were, like what are your
the love languages?
Love languages. That's the word I was thinking for. So mine is acts of service. Like, I don't want you to tell me you love me. I want you to show me and go clean the dishes or do laundry. So my husband will know, like, okay, she's had a really hard day. Like, crew's been really cranky all day. I'm going to go do the laundry for her so she doesn't have to. So I think like we've learned those things, right? We learned that through even having a bad day with burns, like, okay, she's having a rough day. Maybe she needs to like watch her favorite TV show or something. And I think that's really important for the caregivers out there. Like, learn how you can turn the day around. Even when you're having hard days, like we cry it out, we do what we need to, and then we move on and find some joy that we can in that day.
Definitely. Well, maybe we can switch gears a little bit and maybe talk about, I guess, how you even found Phoenix Society initially, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So I, in one of those really difficult days that I was having, was very itchy. So itchy that I was, my husband and I joke, but he would sleep on the couch next to me and I would sleep in our lounge chair at the time. And I was up crying hysterically at like 1 a.m. because I was so itchy and nothing was helping. Right. I couldn't, and I had bandages on, so I couldn't get the itch. And my husband, who was like half asleep at the time, didn't mean it, but had been like Googling and like saw that like walking, right, was like helpful for itching for whatever reason he read. And at the time he looked at me and he said, well, just try to take a lap. So it's a running joke now that like my husband told me to take a lap when I was like hysterically, upset and itching. But anyway, in our moments of like frustration, both of us were like online Googling things like, what can we do to help with the itch? And he did end up calling Orlando Health to kind of see if there was anything they could do. But also we did find in Phoenix article, and it was through those like that night of intense and itching that he said to me, there's a group here. Maybe you should just call in and see if they can help support us because we were lost, right? We didn't know what to do. It was a difficult time.
And especially during COVID too.
Yeah, I was going to say during COVID,
already
they
shut
sent
off
us
from
home.
everyone.
It was just my husband and I, and they sent me home, I think relatively early. And a lot of that was because I had the support and care that I needed, but it was also COVID. So they didn't want folks staying in the hospital. They wanted us out. And so it was in that time that we sought out Phoenix Society's help. And I joined a Saturday morning support call with Pam Peterson, who we miss you, Pam. And Sarah Connor, who's a burn community member as well. And I just asked the dumbest questions in my mind, right? It was like, what should I wear? And, buy bigger pants and ask these questions. Or is your burn team doing this? And I remember looking at my husband and just crying, and them saying like, your husband can come on screen too. I'm like, I just was so thankful that I had found support for a community. And from that point on, they encouraged me to join other support groups. And I joined every week. And I think I joined for probably consistently for about a year, just to help get through kind of some of those really rough times. And I still jump on occasionally. It's really hard. Monday night's support group, unfortunately, is right during bedtime for my son now. So it's difficult for me to join. But I was a faithful burn community support group supporter for quite some time. And that has helped me connect with the Phoenix Society and really become passionate about helping other survivors. From there, I was looking for opportunities for my work and connected with Rachel's team, and did join the team for, I think it was about a year, Rachel, right? And we started this podcast from there. And then it was my time to kind of move on from Phoenix Society. And so I said to Rachel, I don't want to stop the work that we're doing. And so now I volunteer my time to keep the show going, because I love Rachel.
Literally keep the show going.
Literally keep the show on. So I love Rachel and love the Phoenix Society and the support that they do for our community. And I know this podcast has really been able to help reach others far and wide. And so it means a lot to me to keep the show and keep us going.
For sure. And I couldn't imagine doing this without you. And people don't want to listen to just me. So
I talk too much sometimes too. So I'm a talker.
No, I appreciate it. It is funny. Some episodes I feel like I talk a lot. And then the next episode, I feel like you're talking a lot. And I'm like, this is why you need co-hosts.
That's right. Someday you're just having a not want to talk day. So I think that, yeah.
Or just like your journey connects more with our guests. And it's just like, yeah, you two go at it. Cause I don't know.
Yeah. Especially for like recent survivors, right? It's easier, I think, to connect, or folks that were burned as children. Like I don't have that experience. And so we do bring those unique experiences to the table, I think. And that's what makes the show what it is.
Definitely. Well, maybe we can, I don't know if you want to talk about any like highlights or lows, just kind of our survivor journey. I know we do have some rapid fire questions, so we could also dive into those if you want to do that as well.
I'm good with some rapid fire questions if you are.
Amazing. Well, so we came up with a list. I just Googled fun rapid fire questions to ask your friends, and this is what we came up with. I love
rapid fire questions.
Yeah, one, I can learn a little bit more about you, Amber, even, but also so our listeners know who we are. So we'll start with. And
if you have any, please put them in the comments, because I want to read everyone's rapid fire.
Yes, exactly. So, what's your favorite way to spend a weekend?
I'll let you go first, because this is going to take me a minute.
My favorite. Maybe I'll just do a Saturday. Like, what's my ideal Saturday?
Yes, that's what I need to hear.
Because weekend, I'm like, well, there's a lot I can get done. I think my favorite Saturday would be like in the summer when it's warm, not too hot, but when it's hot. And I wake up, I take my Remy on a walk, come home, I drink a cup of coffee out on the porch, and then we take the boat out on the water and have just a beautiful sunny day. I come home, I shower, I eat some dinner, and I fall asleep early watching actually, I'm a big live PD. I guess it's called On Patrol Live. I don't know if you ever watch it. I'm a big live PD
They've filmed here in Daytona Beach before. You've probably seen it. I've seen them. Like, we've been out driving and been like, I think that's a live PD cut. I love I love any, so we're going to go down a rabbit hole with this question, but I do love like reality TV in any form. And I know you do as well, but I'm also a true crime junkie. So I'll like have it on in the background sometimes, like even when I'm at work, like listening and I'm guilty for listening to, and my husband will always like, or even like afternoons when I like want to nap, I'll put on some true crime TV like on the weekends.
That's what helps you fall asleep.
Yeah, my husband will walk in and he's like, "You're nuts. Like this is absolutely bonkers. Like what are you watching?" And it's usually like, I think the latest one I was watching was like LA County like Murder She Wrote or something. And he's like, "What are you watching?" But yeah, so live PD,
I also love it. Yeah, live PD, it's a hit or miss because I mean it's live, so it could go either way. But sometimes it's so good. And my favorite part, again, we're kind of going down the rabbit hole of my weekend, is like when there's like a drunk driver and they're always like, "How many beers or how many drinks have you had today?" The answer is always 2. If someone answers 2, they are getting a DUI.
Absolutely. And my husband's always like, "Why do you like to watch like reality TV?" And I said, "There's something like satisfying about knowing I'm not the only like person in this world that is like, there are nuttier people than me, right?" And so it's just, or being able to watch other crazy folks out there. And I think that's why we both like Big Brother so much.
I have a problem, but I love it so much.
So much. Yeah. And it's funny because it was on last night and I was like, well, bedtime is coming. I need to watch Big Brother. So hopefully bedtime happens. Right. And bedtime was like 8:05. I was like, here we go. I'm ready to
crew supporting the Big Brother
habit. Cause I'm like, listen, I gotta watch Big Brother. So yes, Rachel
I'm so happy they moved Wednesdays and Thursdays back to 8 p.m. Because I'm gonna be honest,
I wish it was at 9.
No, see, but like then 10, I don't know. But Sundays are still at 9. Yeah.
Do you have a bedtime as well?
I like going to bed at 10. So it's like if the show ends at 10,
then it doesn't make bedtime till 10:30. It pushes it back. Yes. I've been having a hard time keeping track of it too. But my husband's got me like on tap, like, okay, Wednesday, Thursday, 8:00, Sundays at 9, which I also, Sundays at 9 to me seems a little late because Sundays are like my time to get ready. And
exactly. That's the day I want to go to bed even earlier than normal.
Yes. Like if I can get to bed, I need to start the Monday. Like Monday mornings are rough. We all know it. So
yeah, but we both love Big Brother. I'm a big Bravo galley. So, I will talk your ear off. If you're a listener and you love Bravo, let us know. Let me know what show.
Or Big Brother, who's we need to know.
Yeah, who are you rooting for?
I'm not a fan of Angela. We all know that. On the show.
Angela's it's so early though, because I feel like I've only known these people for a few days.
I know.
Like I need a little bit
hoping
longer.
that America vetoes Angela. That is my
No, I'll say this now. That way when it happens, I have a recording of it. I've been saying, what if America's veto is actually America Lopez from last season? What if she's the one that gets to pick the person? Because wouldn't that be fun? I loved America last season, so I want to see her again.
I did like her too, but I feel like America is going to get to vote, and I hope America dislikes Angela as much as I do. She's not very nice.
I think everyone dislikes her, except for her family.
She's not very nice. And I was really sad about our friend last week that went home, so I won't reveal the spoilers for anyone that hasn't caught up. But yes, so I'm hoping. I actually really like the undercover cop.
I do too. Sweet Kenny K.
He's probably one of my favorites.
And when
him and the young guy that was on last night joking about Lisa.
Tucker. I love Tucker.
He's my other favorite. Those are the two
now. I know, but I'm just worried.
Until they do something stupid, and then we're going to be like, no, get them out of here.
Exactly.
Okay, well, enough Big Brother talk.
Yeah, your weekend. Saturday?
My weekend. What's yours? I used to like to sleep in. These days it doesn't happen as much, but my son does go down for a nap at usually around 9-ish, 9:30. So one of us has to do morning duty usually, and the other one will like sleep for a little bit. And then lately the weekends are like, okay, when crew does down for a nap, we get nap time also. So
Love
I
that.
live for like waiting till like, being able to take a 2-hour nap with him or whatnot. And then we get up around 11. We usually I'm a big shopaholic, but also like a physical shopaholic. So I like to go to our outlets nearby. So our ideal weekend is like going out shopping, getting some lunch. Sometimes we'll go like drive by the beach, taking him out. Crew is so active. He doesn't like to sit still. So being able to like get him out in the world. Sometimes we've taken him to a museum or going to swim. And yeah, I think having dinner with family and then getting him to bed at a decent hour. So my husband and I have 2 hours every evening to watch some TV. So my husband and I binge watch like series together. So I'm my reality TV. My husband and I really like Apple TV Plus. That is like lately that's what we spend our time doing, is watching Apple TV Plus. And so we will binge watch a TV show together for those like 2 hours. And then 10 o'clock is my bedtime because my son is up early. Yeah, I would say that's my ideal weekend.
I love that. We both have just like relaxing, fun weekends.
I don't require much. Like sometimes I'll have a glass of wine in the evening before bed. I maybe take a bubble bath. It's also my ideal kind of self-care sometimes is like a bubble bath with my favorite TV while Tyler likes to play video games as his like self-care. So usually weekends are for self-care. What can we do? Bubble bath and a glass of wine with some reality TV is my quiet time.
I love that.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, let's go to our next one. My next question.
I will ask you, have you ever had a nickname? And if so, what is it?
I have. So my maiden name, and for our OG listeners who have listened back since season 1, my maiden name was Anderson. So Rachel Anderson was the name. And I played lacrosse in college, but there was another Rachel on the team.
I knew that.
Yeah, well, there's another Rachel, and you communicate. You're supposed to be like talking and yelling to your teammates. Well, then that got confusing because everyone's just yelling Rachel. So Randy was born because they wanted to call me Andy because of Anderson, and I was like, I don't really like that. So, but I guess I liked Randy better. And now it's stuck. And now all of my college friends still call me Randy. It was a joke when I got married. Like, I can't remember what they tried to change it, and I was like, no, we'll just stick with Randy.
It looks a lot harder. Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. So
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
There you go.
What about you?
I'm going to start calling you Randy. I don't know. Like my mom always shortened my name as growing up as a child. So it was always like Ambi or Am. I still think she calls me like Ambi. My husband, for whatever reason, Pumpkin was like what he used to call me. And so now sometimes he'll call me that. Or even Stinks. Like, I don't even know why, but he'll just call me that. So there's a lot of like random nicknames we call each other, but Pumpkin is like, or Pumps, he'll call me. Yeah. So, it's cute and lame, but I think that stuck for a while. And so, yeah, so he would jokingly call me Pumps, but, I call him Ty and he's Tyler. And so he'll shorten me to Pumps sometimes, but that's about it. So
nice. I love it.
I think I answered this next question, but I am a night owl. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I think I'm more of a morning person.
Oh gosh,
I know.
Those poor people.
I know, but there's something about like I love waking up and like working out or like getting some movement in my body. I feel so much better all day. I didn't do it on Monday, and I was like I felt so tired. I was like, I slept in today. How am I still so tired? And it's because I didn't move my body. I needed it.
That I am I am 100% not a morning person. I'm like, I love, and my husband's not either. So we really struggle. And usually it's like, okay, who's going to tap in tomorrow morning? And I do overnights. I'm breastfeeding my son. So like he'll be up at sometimes 3 and sometimes 5. And then I go to bed. And so I'm always like, you're up. So my husband, bless his soul, has been doing the morning shift most mornings. Cause yeah, we stay up and sometimes we stay up too late, and like 10 o'clock is our bedtime, but like, okay, well, just one more episode.
One more episode.
Yeah. One more episode is like a great, right? That's like a great tagline, but it's always, you always regret it later. But yeah, it's one more episode. Yeah. We're binging another Apple TV show now. And last night it was like, well, just one more. We just gotta say, and they always leave on a cliffhanger, which makes me so angry because then you end up, okay, like I need to see what happens to this person. It cliffhangered, like, did they die? Did they not?
Yep.
And it always turns into 45 minutes later and you don't end up going to bed till late. But I'm fine at night. Like in the morning, I struggle 3 coffees later and I'm okay. But
the funniest thing is like when you're like, oh, like you wake up and you're super tired. You're like, I'm going to go to bed so early tonight. And then the nighttime rolls around and you have so much energy.
Exactly. And you're like, what was I thinking? Like 9 o'clock? Yeah. No, I can do 11.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Every time I struggle. So yes. And like, if I could stay up till midnight every night, I would. But unfortunately, with a 10-month-old, that some days he's like 5:30 ready to go. I'm tired just thinking about it. But some days it's like 6:30. So depends on the day. We've been trying to work him till 7 a.m. and it depends.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. Because if it can be 7 a.m., I'm okay. Like that's not more. That's like mid-morning to me lately, but like 5:30, forget it. No, sir, go back to bed.
5:30 is too early. No, thank you.
So early. No, what did you want to be when you were younger?
So in like 5th grade, you like in your yearbook, you always write what you're going to be.
Yes.
Well, I at that time that was when America's Next Top Model was really popular and cool. That was the show to be watching. The reality TV. Always been a fan.
Always. Well, I've always wanted to be a model as well, so I will give you that. Right.
That's what I wanted to be. I wrote in my 5th grade yearbook that I wanted to be a model, modeling my own fashions along with Tyra Banks.
I also love that for you as a burn survivor, right? Your parents give you that confidence to like feel like. Because, right, that does not every survivor feels that way. And so I love that for you because I do think that just shows the confidence that you had even at a young age.
I know. They always instilled that in me. And that's why I do like to like look back at it because it's like, that was a pretty fun dream to have.
Absolutely. And yeah, what one that it was.
Yes. What about you? Did you always want to be a marketing professional when you were a kid?
No, I actually went into marketing in college because my mom told me that she thought I'd be really good at it because I was also
you are.
I can sell people on a lot of things. So growing up, I think I started with wanting to be a teacher. I used to play like teacher with all of like my younger siblings. I'm the oldest of 2 other siblings. And so I always kind of wanted to be a teacher. And then as I got older, I really wanted to be a lawyer. Because I was really good at arguing. I still feel like I'm really good at arguing. And I also loved to watch like Law and Order SVU.
And the true crime,
And the true crime. But I don't think I would want to go to that much schooling. Like I didn't have the like patience for that. I also, if I was like a crime scene detective or any like law, just don't feel like I could do the like gore. Anytime I'm like watching TV, I'm like, move on, show me after the gore is over. So I like the legal court stuff. I just can't do the gore. So for our Grapper and Kneejet friends, like if there was a legal, I'm into it. I'm here for it. I just couldn't deal with like the gross and all the schooling that comes along with it. I don't even know if I know this one about you. What are your hobbies?
I feel like I don't really have a lot of hobbies, to be honest. My hobbies are
my hobbies right here.
Yes, podcasting, talking about reality TV.
Yeah.
No, but the hobby is watching reality TV. And honestly, the only other like real hobby I'm always doing is like working out, and I feel like that's a lame hobby to have, but I enjoy it. I enjoy running it. Yeah. I don't know.
Yep. I also, yoga is like my hobby. I became a yoga teacher during the, kind of COVID era. After my injury, yoga helped save me, I think, from like myself. And so I became a yoga teacher for a while. I was teaching yoga to juveniles in detention centers across Florida. Took a pause on that. I'm gonna get pregnant. But yeah, I enjoy yoga. I enjoy teaching yoga. And I think yoga helped me get through some of my injury too, like learning the breath work and all of that. So,
and just the movement and stretching.
I also am a crafter. I wish I had more time to do it. I think we talked about my son's birthday. There's nothing Miss Rachel out there in the world. So for the parents listening, if your son or daughter wants a Miss Rachel birthday party, good luck. And so I think I've gotten a little bit back into my passion for crafting with some of this, like making things for his party. I've been trying my hand at making doormats. And it's been really fun. I'll have to send you a picture, Rachel, of the doormat that I made. But crafting has been kind of like another way for me to, mindless things that you can work on.
That's awesome.
Other than that, yeah, I think that's it for hobbies. Don't have a lot of time for any other ones. If you could visit any place in the world, where would you go and why?
Ooh, well, right now, this isn't always my answer. But right now, if I could transport anywhere, I would go to Paris. I want to go to the Olympics.
Watch the Olympics. I have a friend who went, and it was lovely to see them at the Olympics. I thought it was really neat. So
yeah, it's the next summer's in Los Angeles. So
maybe Girls with Grafts needs to take a trip.
Go on tour.
Go on tour. LA, Paris, Rome, whatever.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I've actually always wanted to go to Europe and have never had the opportunity to. My husband, I've been like, we should take a trip with crew. And he's like, well, what if he can be older and remember? I'm like, he doesn't need to remember it. Like, we'll take pictures.
You have photos for that.
But yeah, like little crew with a beret on. I think he would.
Oh my gosh, so
have
cute.
the time of his life. So yes, I do think Europe would be in the cards. However, anyone that knows me knows I've been to Hawaii quite a few times, more than I'd like to admit. And that is my happy place. And so I do also want to take crew to Hawaii. And my husband's also like, he can wait till he's older so he can snorkel. I'm like, listen, that's what grandparents are for. This is why other people come with us. We let them hold him. Like, anybody wanting to come to Hawaii, they can watch crew. I'm going to go snorkel for a few minutes. So
exactly. I love
and
that.
They have the best coffee in Hawaii.
I've never
the best
been.
Food.
It's on my bucket list though.
Yes. So if I could go anywhere, I think I would love a vacation in Hawaii where it's not so hot and relaxing.
I love it.
Would you sing karaoke at night? This is a very specific question, Rachel. Not during the day. Would you sing it at night?
Oh, no. What would you sing at karaoke?
At karaoke. I was like, why would you sing it at night?
Oh, wait, at karaoke.
Apparently, I need to put my glasses back on. What would you sing at karaoke night?
I was like,
would you?
I was like, wait, was that the question I put?
I was like, why not during the day? This is my tired mom brain.
I do love a good karaoke. I'm not a good singer though, but if I had to go sing one right now during the day or at night, I would pick, it's kind of ironic that this is the song title, but it's Burn, Burn, Burn by Zach Bryan.
That is a very ironic song title.
It's a really good song though, and it's a lot of words, but I won't lie, Brett and I may have practiced it a few times so that when we have the opportunity to sing karaoke next, we're ready to go.
Hey, I mean, there are just those songs that you like bop out to in the car.
Yeah.
I have a few myself. I would probably recruit my husband to sing too. But there are a couple of Jason Mraz songs that we would sing together because we're big Jason Mraz fans. I am a big Beyonce fan, so there are quite a few Beyonce songs I'd be happy to sing for you. Lately, though, my husband and I know every word to Miss Rachel. All of her songs.
Miss Rachel song.
So if you need to know like Mr. Sun, any of the children's songs, they already are sung all over our house, even after Crew goes to bed. But I do know some Jason Mraz like songs as well that I'd be happy to sing. Not here, but in the comfort of my own home.
We will not be doing that over
There's no
Girls with
karaoke
Grafts
here.
ever. Yeah, no, sorry.
No. Sorry
about that. Maybe at the next World Burn we can have karaoke and then we can sing there.
Whatever songs, yeah.
Yes.
I'd be happy to sing at World Burn. What is your favorite holiday and why, Rachel?
My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving because I think it's, I love eating. One, that's a hobby of mine, eating. Two, I love family time in general, but like family time without the pressure of like having to get gifts at like Christmas and things like that. Like I just enjoy eating. It's also like I feel like everyone's happy. There's football on.
Yeah.
I'm drinking red wine. I'm eating way too much stuffing, pumpkin pie. Like you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I think that would be so holiday. There's two answers to this question for me. My birthday falls on a holiday. So the 4th of July is my birthday. So for many years, I mean, I still believe it. Fireworks are for me, no one else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the one holiday you don't get presents on. So I felt, well, Thanksgiving too, but I feel like it is like, that is my favorite. Yeah, it's for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it's not a holiday, but the season of like Thanksgiving leading up to Christmas, like I don't like the actual days. I love like the going to the different events and decorating. Mm-hmm. My husband and I like love that season together. So there's two answers for me.
I love it. I know. I was like, is she going to say July 4th or no? But also her birthday or no? I was like, I don't know.
Yes. Yes. I'd like, of course, when your birthday is on a holiday, you have to, right? And mine is on 4th of July. Tyler's is usually sometimes falls on Thanksgiving. So our favorite holidays. There you go.
Well, and Crew's, because my birthday's the day after Crew, his will fall on Labor Day sometimes, which I know, okay, not the most glamorous holiday, but
you may have it off, right? Having your birthday, yes. I always have my birthday off of work, which is always like, as you get older, it's something you appreciate.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
We're almost done here. Two more. What's your favorite fast food chain?
I'm not big into fast food, let me tell you.
Okay, what about just like chain restaurant?
Yeah. I'm on this kick lately. Do you guys have a Moe's? You know what Moe's is? I love Moe's. I'm vegetarian. I don't know if we've talked about that before, but they have a good tofu quesadilla option. Anywhere that has a good tofu. So Moe's is like my latest go-to. Yeah, I would say Moe's. There's Tijuana Flats here. I don't think you have Tijuana Flats. It's kind of like flat. It's a chain. My husband and I used to argue because he would love Mexican food and I loathed it. Now it's kind of the opposite. Like he's got me into it and now that's all I want to eat. And my husband doesn't want to eat Mexican lately. So all of the Mexican food is, I think, my choice. How about you?
Well, this is like kind of Mexican, but fake Mexican. Taco Bell is my weakness.
Oh,
and Brett and I love like a late night Taco Bell. It's just chef's kiss. Make sure you have the app, people. This isn't a paid sponsorship, but download the app. Everything's cheaper on the app.
Hey, trust me. You got to find your hacks. I'm a late night pizza girl. Like I love some late night pizza. Pizza is my weakness. I'm always liked Italian, so
can't go wrong with Italian.
Can't. Okay, tell me a fun fact about yourself, Rachel.
You know what? I wrote this question and I did not come prepared with a fun fact.
I'm not prepared with a fun fact either.
A fun fact about me is the suspense is building.
I've got one. So I got two fun facts. One, I've lived in Guam.
Oh, there you go. Is a fun fact.
Fun fact. Two, I know you were talking about America's Next or Top Model. I did also have that dream, but I did also run for Miss Teen Rhode Island. So there you go. I didn't win, but I did run. I was very invested in my life. So there's a fun fact.
Wow, I love that.
And I have some
than me.
I have some really hilarious photos of myself doing the modeling / Miss Teen USA. So there you go.
Gosh,
Someday, if you're lucky,
that.
I'll share them with you.
Yeah, I want to see those for sure. For sure.
There you go.
Well, since you shared two, I don't have one. My fun fact is, I never broke a bone.
Oh,
knock on the table. If you can hear it.
I can't. I'm a Calamity Jane over here. I can't say that. Oh, is that our friend making an appearance?
Yeah, because I knocked on the table and then he thought someone was at the door.
Amazon was at the door. All right. Well, I think we're almost at time here. So this has been really a fun episode. I know we have final questions. So I'll let you.
And they're new for season 5.
Yes, yeah, and they're new for season 5. So let's hear them.
So our first question is, what is one thing you'd want the world to know about being a burn survivor?
I would say that the one thing that I underestimated, or my husband underestimated as well, right? You always hear about like burns, or you see burns on TV, but we really grossly underestimated the journey, right, of a survivor. I don't think we ever imagined it would be so in-depth and so intense and so painful, right? Like there's it's the most unimaginable pain that you've ever dealt with. And yeah, I would say like I think looking on the outside before I had been burned, I had absolutely no idea that, you know, somebody with a facial difference or really just physical difference in general, we really underestimated and that. And but you can do hard things, right? That is like my mantra. And you will get through it. But I think it is hard, right? Don't discredit yourself for doing that.
I love that. One thing I'd want the world to know is that I wish, I guess, that we could like have more awareness of the burn survivor community. You know, we hear all the time like, oh, I never met a burn survivor and so I became one, or like someone I knew became one. And it's like, but I get that, but open your eyes, because there's so many more survivors out in the world than I think we even realize.
Absolutely. And sometimes I'll be at the store and I notice these things now, and my husband will sometimes notice too, or he won't. And I'll say, did you see that person? Like there's a survivor right there. And I get excited because there's somebody else that looks like me.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's not enough of it.
I just want more awareness and just our community to grow. So yeah. So with that, it's our final question, which is our Phoenix partner question, which today is sponsored by Grapper and Nejet, a personal injury law firm helping survivors and others get the financial representation that they deserve. Is, what is one word you would use to describe the burn survivor community?
I'm going to go with beautiful. I've made some of the best friends that I've ever made through the community. And they're the most beautiful people inside and out. And so I think
I love that.
It's a great way to describe them.
Yes. I'm going to pick strong, kind of for some of the things, Amber, you just talked about, like wanting the world to know, like we're one strong community. We all are strong. We build each other up. We build ourselves up. We're strong and
we
mighty.
have seen unimaginable things. Some that you never want to experience, but we still get through it.
Yes. And we still have a smile on at the end. Sometimes not every day. Some days are tough, but at the end of the journey, we will be smiling.
For sure.
Awesome.
Well, this has been a wonderful kickoff. Yes. I want to hear all of our community's rapid fire questions. So be sure to answer your questions in the comments. We can't wait to see what you'll say. And yeah, it's been a wonderful episode. So here's to season 5. Cheers. I'll take my imaginary cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Their cheers are coffee cups together. You can't even see. I have no coffee.
Invisible coffee.
Cheers to our Stanleys. That seems to be appropriate, right?
Can they sponsor if you're looking to sponsor a podcast? We'll take it. Awesome. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, this has been a lovely episode, and we look forward to all of the great things to come.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Girls with Grafts. If you are enjoying this content, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. This helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.